great guy, no? Recently PM took his name, no? 16 September, I believe, 1893. Speech पढ़ा? Speech पढ़ा? Open in Google, read first 3 lines. First 3 lines. Open. 1893 Vivekananda speech in Chicago. Then I'll tell you the story. Open it and just read the first 3 lines. और क्या समझ में आया बताओ मैं. How is the quality of English? 1893. Can anybody read first 2 lines for me? Yeah, Sudha. America. 1 second. He started Sisters and Brothers of America. Wait. इसी में story है. The story is in the salutation only. If you go back to history of that time, 1893 world history जब तुमको पढ़ाया जाएगा, this is the time when the countries had lost faith in each other. This is the time of secret alliances. एक दूसरे के खिलाफ Russia is signing a secret alliance with Germany, Poland is signing a secret alliance with Russia, with France, America with UK with somebody else. So secretly everybody is signing, nobody is wanting to accept that relationship in open. So in this background, a guy comes from far east. This word far east is very important. It only denotes people from distant lands. Means, matlab the outer world kind of. The word forest, F-O-R-E-S-T. Kabhi Google karna, what is the meaning of the word forest? What is in the fringe, in the outer periphery is called forest, for your information. So they treated us people from far east and people from distant land. So when this guy was to attend on behalf of India, British India, mind you, not India, British India, right? So the person who was comparing this particular stage, no time, take 2-3 minutes and sum it up. And this was in the evening, told to him. He said, okay, fine, no issues. When he made the first statement, brothers and sisters of America, people clapped for 16 minutes. People clapped for 16 minutes. This is the story, I am not making up. And he went on to give this speech for hours together. And people sat down and listened with awe and dumbstruck. What he spoke about the tenets of religion, what Sanatan Dharma BJP is trying to make some meaning out of it, that guy explained in 1893. So that is the country you belong to and you inherit such great tradition, our forefathers, to claim for. When everybody was killing each other, this guy went and made a statement. When the world started recognizing India, this particular speech in the history of the world is known to be the best speech ever given by anybody. A country which was in the shackles of colonization, imperialization, so whatever you call it. Just imagine the kind of leaders this country has produced for you. Okay? So we never ever in international platform think that you are less than anybody, because these people have made you proud for what you call times to come. Whether it is a battlefield, the Battle of Saragadi is a classic example where only 21 Sikhs stopped 10,000 Afghans. It is known to be the best fought battle ever by human race in the history. So 21 people stopping 10,000 people. So you carry that kind of legacy to boast of. It's just because 200 years you were ruled by somebody because of some internal issues, you cannot negate the authority of India in international sphere. So that is the crux of it. So never ever, that is the reason why India is very strong when it comes to international affairs. Nobody can challenge. The only country in the world in contemporary times which always takes panga with US, always, every time, and US can't do S about it. He cannot do, because he knows the core principles on what ground he is taking panga with me, I cannot do anything. The same mistake any other country, by now they would have been in sanctions or some other kind of pressure, but he will not do anything to it. He cannot do, not today, not in future also he cannot do, because that is the sound moral grounding your country espouses on. So that is why nobody can do anything about it. Okay? So you belong to that kind of a country. So you be proud of your historical legacy. See, do not see history from the perspective of नाम याद करना पड़ेगा, year याद करना पड़ेगा. No. If you take interest in, see, I also hated history. Let me be very frank with you all. But when I am trying to read across books of what's happening in the world, now I realize the importance of history. Why history is boring? Because it is taught at an age when you do not understand the essence of it. You make modern Indian history as a compulsory elective in your graduation. Just see the understanding of people who will come out of graduation. But we are failing to do it. The Japanese, they only teach culture to their students. There is no schooling, there is no passing, nothing. The country with the highest literacy rate in the world today. See, they have taken, atomic bombs on their heads. और हम छुटपुट बॉर्डर की लड़ाई के लिए रो रहे. They have taken atomic bomb, the effect of which is alive even today, and they have never complained about it. So try to understand the importance of education, which is our topic of discussion today. What is the title? कौन बताएगा? हाँ, title क्या? अच्छा, sorry, couple of other lines.
It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in the response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us.
Stop. What is the background I told you? The comparer told on the mic, you have only 2 minutes to speak, and what he made the statement immediately? Warm welcome that you have given. Did he give a warm welcome? He said, जल्दी खत्म कर यार, घर जाना है, चाय पीना है. ठीक है? Yeah, continue. Can you imagine to write something like this today? Why? Why you cannot even imagine? लिखना तो बहुत दूर की बात. Why you can't even imagine to write this kind of language? If you see the kind of language, it took me 15 to 16 readings to understand what he is telling. For me, first page, second page तक तो गए नहीं आज तक. 15 to 16 readings to understand what is he trying to tell actually. If you link what is he trying to tell with what is happening in the contemporary world order that time, each and every word will have relevance. The second best speech, Jawaharlal Nehru, Terraced with Destiny, the speech which he gave in the night of 14th August when India rose to become independence, the first line, Google, the first line, just see what is the first line. When the world sleeps, India awakens. You know what is the essence of this word? When the world sleeps, India awakens. Matlab, whenever the world will go into darkness, India will show the light to the world. It is not the birth of a new nation. It is not meant to say that. And this light was actually and rightly shown to many Asian and African countries. For everybody's independence, India raised a voice in various platforms including United Nations. So just see the kind of responsibility your leaders have taken. Taken on their own shoulders to tell out to the world what humanity is all about. Okay? Try to understand, this is a rich legacy that you all carry and have the responsibility to shoulder and carry forward to the next generation. Okay? So do not get carried away by flimsy knowledge that you have. छोटा मोटा किताब पढ़ के अपने आप को बहुत पढ़े लिखे मत समझो. What you know is not even a drop in the ocean. Even if the drop in the ocean, if the drop is also an ocean, in that also what we all collectively know is only a drop. Okay, so try to understand what we know is much less, what we need to know is much more than what we can imagine, even imagine. Now this brings to the topic of today's essay. Too much of heating has happened today. Yeah, what is the topic? Imagination क्या था? Imagination is more important than knowledge. I also did not imagine it. Imagination is more important than अभी now you are all experts to write essays, no? अरे yes or no? अरे कल इतना सिखाया है तुमको क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है. हाँ, imagination is more important than knowledge. किसने बोला? अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन ने बोला. अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन. आई डू नॉट नो द स्पेलिंग ऑफ आइंस्टाइन, सो आई रोट ए. ठीक है, अल्बर्ट पता है ALBERT. आइंस्टाइन का स्पेलिंग मेरे को नहीं पता है. EIENSTIN पता नहीं क्या है. ठीक है, या हाँ हाँ बताओ क्या लिखोगे? फर्स्ट पेज, इंट्रोडक्शन पेज. नो, shall we go back to our page? This is the page number 1. The UPSC will write the question here. This is the place for the question, and the question is imagination is more important than knowledge. अब बताओ इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या लिखोगे? ये कोट ये बड़े भाई का है, ये हमको पता लग गया है. अभी एजुकेशन के ऊपर या नॉलेज के ऊपर, नॉलेज के ऊपर या इमेजिनेशन के ऊपर, गिव एनी अदर कोट. फिर से बोल बेटा, मेरे को इतनी इंग्लिश नहीं आती है. हाँ,
The existence and development of human race stands on the grounds of imagination.
कौन बोला? क्या बोला? फर्स्ट चॉइस अ कोट बाय ए एमिनेंट पर्सनालिटी. हाँ बोलो कोट एक. somebody google quote on imagination. Quote on imagine. See, dream and imagination are two different dimensions. Dream and imagination are technically not the same. Why? Because dream is something which is happening in your subconscious mind, imagination is happening in your conscious mind. Okay, now tell me any quote. Google करो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
The man who has no imagination has no wings.
No way.
No wings.
No wings. She says the man who has no imagination. Here man does not mean biological man. It could be a woman also. Okay, don't get what you call hurt by this. The man who has no imagination has no wings. Who is the great person? Muhammad Ali. The great boxer? अरे हाँ, he only. The man who has no imagination has no wings. What do the wings signify here? What do the wings signify here? One is to rise high. One is to rise high. Second is very important. The birds are free to fly, right? Unless and until you put them in captivity, they are free to fly. COVID made us feel, no? We are in chains, they are. Nothing is happening to it. Okay? The man who has no imagination has no wings. So here the wings signify the rising high. Now when I use the word rise high about what? High about what? The mean sea level rise? Is it a geographical rise? What? Somebody said position, I think Shiva, right? You said position, right? Shiva. Can you make it more elaborate? He is there. Barriers of your own? Barriers of your own limitations. Very important. You are trying to come out of the barriers of your own limitations. 2018, a student came, I was not here, somewhere else. A student came, a cobbler's son, 17, sorry, not 18, 2017, a cobbler's son. He came to the institute saying, I have this 1600 rupees, sir, but I have a dream to become an IPS officer. He did not become, but he went back after 3 years as a better person, though he did not become. But the amount of effort he had put in making his realization or his dreams come true had no limitations of any dimension. One day he was looking very pale to me. I said, Shiva was his name. I said, Shiva, no coincidence, but Shiva was his name. I said, Shiva, what happened? You look weak. Well, sir, it's been more than 2 days I have eaten anything. Just see the amount of limitations. Always first chair is Shiva's chair registered. He is there. When I am entering the class, 100% heavens falling, he is sitting on the chair. Just see the commitment of that guy. And we have all the excuses in the world. He tried to come out of this limitation. One day I will call him, if he is willing to come, I will surely call him, and you should meet him. So much to learn from him, that no limitation can stop you if you have the imagination. So in the introductory part, after writing the quote, you give any personal life experiences either of you or of any personality. You can take any field, you can take the sports field. She can be a classic example here. Yes or no? You have your own Karanam Malleshwari, you have your own PT Usha who have struggled in their personal lives. But they imagined Milkha Singh. He only said the only dream I ever saw was breaking the world record. No other dream I saw. He used to say, I ran in my dreams also. That was the kind of imagination these people had. So that is where they are rising above their limitations. And what is the meaning of knowledge here? What is the meaning of knowledge here? It could be any functional knowledge, to do a particular task, to comprehend a written text or anything. So this knowledge, do not what you call stop yourself thinking that it is only from book knowledge. No, it need not be. It could be any functional knowledge. Whether you are a driver, your ability to drive a car. If you are a mechanic, your ability to repair. If you are a doctor, your ability to treat. It could be anything here. So that is how you do not limit this knowledge to bookish knowledge. It could be the knowledge of an art. It could be the knowledge of a sport. It could be any damn thing. So that is when what you achieve is, you widen the prospect of your essay. You widen the dimension of your essay, so that you can pick up example from cross sections of the life and give a classic example. You give the example of your nation. When we imagined about your independence, why 26th January is your Republic Day? Because 1930 I decided. Yes or no? Modern history, 1930, 26th January you decided that this would be my Republic Day whenever I become Republic country. So it is a result. Of Imagination. So that is how you have to understand the point of view of imagination is what you are aspiring to do. If I do not imagine that when I started this particular platform, one person was sitting, just one person was sitting, and I took a class as if 100 students are sitting. After the class he came and asked me, sir, what you call, he said, sir, I saw a couple of times you are looking at the chair and taking a class, you are not even looking at me. I said, I was imagining your replication in all the chairs, which has come true to a larger extent today. Yes or no? So the imagination was there, day will come when no chair will be vacant here. Yes or no? So classic example from your own life stories you try to give here, or of any eminent personality, or you open this, always write in the first rough work, write these 5 words: self, family, society, nation, the world and humanity. ये लिख लो. See, so many examples you will get. You tell UPSC, why 11 pages, sir? Please give us one more additional of 11 pages, I will write and show you what is to be written. Yes or no? Are yes or no? So build that confidence here. Build that confidence. Take it. Yeah. Any personal life example can anybody share where imagination made something which happened which was not destined to happen? Any personal life example. You just give the heading, I will take on. APJ Abdul Kalam. Newspaper, he used to sell or distribute newspaper, right? So in what dimension you want to take? Imagination is more important than knowledge. Okay, so the limitation, if I draw one more this thing, shall I draw the limitations ka list? Shall I draw the limitations list? What all could be the limitations here, right? What all could be the limitations? Your health could be a limitation, money could be a limitation, time could be a limitation. What else? Madam, कम सुनाई देता है. I have donated both the years 40% to the nation. ठीक है? हाँ. Travel. Limitation. Okay, family. We have a family man sitting. Yeah. हाँ. अरे बहुत सारे dimensions है. I've just said health, money and time. यार इधर के पॉइंट इधर बोलोगे ना मार खाओगे, ठीक है? हाँ. If that is the case, now that is the case, हाँ चलो अब बोलो. हाँ मैडम, belief system, the stereotypes or the belief system. Probably society से उसका मतलब यही था. Who said society? वरुण कौन था? अच्छा, okay, fine. Yeah. अरे there's so many limitations.
Trusting oneself.
Okay. The self belief I'll write. Okay. Self belief. Okay. This is one.
Natural resources.
In what sense? तो एनवायरनमेंट पे चला गया, मैं इधर ही हो गया. हाँ कौन था? या एक्सेलेंट. I was taking a counseling, that's the reason why 10 minutes I got delayed. Kavita madam's daughter came. I had met her couple of days before, maybe weeks before. I had guided her, beta you do your BTech, it's a good fallback option. She wants to pursue UPSC, victim like all of you and me also. So I said, she is confused whether she should take BA or BTech. I suggested take BTech. It's a good fallback option. If something goes wrong in UPSC, you can always go back to the IT world, thanks to Hyderabad, co-located. Google will give you some job. If BA, then I said you will come to me only asking for job. So it is better you go for BTech. That's what I told. In somebody in the family told, when you have decided when you want to become IAS officer, why don't you start your preparation today only? Then I told, I gave an example, I don't want to take the name of the institution where integrated coaching happens. I said yesterday that student came, sir, what they have taught me in 3 years is how to write an exam without studying anything and how to pass people without teaching anything. So that is what I said, this is the issue. Under peer pressure, she is what? What is affecting her? What is affecting her? Imagination that she should do this. So this is the biggest, when you said your peers, no, I wish to do IAS, 10th లో 50% మార్కులు రాలేదు కానీ నువ్వు IAS అవుతావా? This is the first dialogue, yes or no? So this is the basic understanding of the society that you need to be academically genius to become an IAS officer. Is it true? You will realize it after passing the exam, it was not required. So that had it been true, UPSC will not put 50% graduation, no? It would have put minimum 90% in graduation. Why it is not putting 90% graduation? Because it knows it is not required. So that is the reason why it is putting 50% graduation hai to aa jao. Okay? So try to understand this peer pressure will build up the what you call the negative thoughts in you, and it will limit nothing but your okay? I am teaching you how to think. I am not teaching you how to write an essay. I never teach how to write. I only teach how to think. If you learn the art of thinking, automatically you will write. If I teach you what to write, if that is not asked in the UPSC, you will never be able to write anything, because I did not teach you how to think and write. So my intention here is to force you to think. Imagine what you cannot see on the board. Now tell me what you will write here. One life example, I told you, one life example of first preference, your own example. Always remember, your own unique example will fetch you more attention of the invigilator than any personalities. This thing. Take care? Yeah. You know, when did Muhammad Ali gave this statement? Before starting winning. See, when Usain Bolt also, you know, participated in so many Olympics, nowhere in the race in the finish line. Nowhere. First position to bahut dur ki baat hai. Probably last or second last he used to come initially. But the only thing he did was, he imagined himself touching that finish line rope. Earlier it used to be that culture. Touching that finish line rope with his bare chest. That was his dream. And he said, to make this dream come true, I ran for 4 years to run for 9 seconds. To run for 9 seconds, I ran for 4 years. There are a lot of YouTube videos of Usain Bolt's training. After the end of training, he falls dead on the field. You see those motivational videos, the way he trained. You only saw those 9 seconds. You did not see those 365 into 4 days. 4 years of training brought him there. The only thing that made him stay there was his imagination that my chest will touch one day that rope which is hanging 100 meters away. Okay? That is the power of imagination. So this guy initially used to lose all the battles, all the bouts. That is when one day he said, I have the power to dream, and he said, if I do not dream, I will never win. I will dream, I will win, and I will make people bleed in the court. Exactly that happened. He made people bleed in the ring. People used to pray to God, yaar iske saath ladai mat laga de, because maximum of his victories are knockouts. He does not believe in point system. Earlier the game was completely different. Today the game is completely different. Boxing. Earlier the game was you have to knock him. It used to go 12, 13, 14, 15 rounds. आजकल 3 राउंड में जवान बाहर आ जाती है, ठीक है. दैट इज द इमेजिनेशन दैट ही हैड. नाउ वंस यू गिव लाइफ एग्जाम्पल, maybe only the half page is filled, maybe only the half page is filled. What will you write here in the next half page? This is the first page, remind you. What will you write the half page? You write this part in paragraph. You write this part in paragraph. How you will start this statement? Be it a man. Man here signifies everybody, okay. Be it a man, a culture or a nation. What stops us from imagining the unthinkable are these dimensions. You know what was the biggest fear of India when we got independence? 15th August 2021 कब था? 1947. 15th August 1947 we got independence, right? You know what was the fear of India? What was the biggest fear of India? After getting independence, what was the biggest fear of India? Power, integration, consolidation, communalism. No, the biggest fear was how not to become a slave again. The biggest fear. How not? Why? Because immediately Pakistan brought US, Sri Lanka brought UK, idiot Myanmar brought UK. So again we were immediately surrounded by imperial powers. So we felt it is only a matter of time that these idiots will attack again and take over India. This was the biggest fear the nation lived, that how not to become a slave again. But the imagination was beyond that. So the limitation here was what? What was the biggest limitation of our country at the time of what you call independence? There was no international recognition to India. Nobody was coming forward to recognize that you are a country. That is because for UN membership and all those things, you had the British legacy. So that is how it carried forward. But people were not ready to accept you as a nation because China was controlling things in many dimensions. That he is an India is a British creation, all those nonsense was going on. So your imagination, what you are today, your understanding of India, what it is today, is the result of somebody's imagination, and this somebody's are none other than your national leaders. So what India see you today is the result of imagination of your national leaders. So the second part of your first page, you try to bring in these limitations here. The moment you talk about limitations in the first page, and these limitations what you have noticed, these are generally more or less individual based limitations. Generally more or less individual based limitations. The moment you write an introduction where individual dimension is opening up, he becomes more interested to know what this guy is trying to say. Why? Because I told you this is an interview in writing, and you have given the masala that he is looking for. By not talking about international relations or internal security, no, you brought him to your own individual level. So that is how you keep him engaged in the first page. Now that you have written a good quote, a life example, either yours or a personality, immediately following what actually stops us from dreaming big. You have given limitations. What immediately you will write in the next page, page number 2, what will come? What should come rather? Will chhod do. Page number 2, you have written limitations in the back side. This is where you start. History is replete, means full. History is replete with references how individuals who have risen above these limitations have etched their names in the annals of history in golden letters. You don't have to reproduce this. It's just a what you call a reference sentence. You can write it in your own words. Much better than this. Okay? What I told you here, limitations, here golden letters. Has history written ever about the person who lost the battle? Has history written ever about a person who lost the battle? When I make a comparison of Ravana, the personality traits, and the god Ram that whom we worship, God Ram does not stand anywhere, whether it comes to strength, whether it comes to the knowledge of Vedas, whether it comes to the fighting spirit, whatever you name it, he is much more above than him. The only one dimension he missed is some dimension which this guy had in plenty. So one belief system that I have so many limitations on comparison with him, but the imagination that I will definitely win this battle because I am on the side of the truth. That's the only thing, that I am on the side of what is right, righteousness. इसलिए राम is called मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम राम. मर्यादा पुरुष उत्तम, पुरुषुल्लो उत्तममुडु श्रीरामुडु. That is what we have so many friends. Lord Krishna, if you take, nobody has lived a childhood like him. Nobody can even think of. Nobody had loved the way he loved. You always say Radha Krishna. You do not take his wife's name. Just imagine, you imagine his youth, you imagine his what you call teenage, and you imagine what he has achieved and what he led the entire Mahabharata, how he led. So any facet of his life, he has lived it to the fullest. Till date, nobody can even think of. So we have so many references. All these are a result of what? All these are a result of imagination. The knowledge followed by what Arjuna was missing. Was he missing in the knowledge component? No. What he was missing? In the imagination dimension. He was very, very right when he was talking about the knowledge dimension. How many people are standing? Do you know their war waging capability? And you are asking me to fight, and on top of it they are all my brothers. That's the worst part. But what he was not imagining, the strength which is there behind him. The history says Lord Hanuman is a charioteer. He is controlling the chariot, no? If you have read history in that depth. The chariot was supposed to be destroyed. It was destroyed long back. It was Lord Hanuman in some dimension, what the history says, he was holding on to the chariot. It is said the moment Hanuman came out of the chariot, it burnt into ashes within seconds. Then Arjuna was like surprised, nothing happened now. Then Krishna says, long back your chariot would have gone. It is he who was holding on to your chariot. Which is not realizing, because you never imagined that this can happen to me. So you open up any dimensions. You go to historical perspective, Vedic perspective, contemporary perspective in the second page. The moment you bring the Vedic perspective here or the ancient history perspective here, it will force him to read line by line. I told you yesterday what PECIL analysis I told you. It is the easiest way to write the essay. Are we talking about PECIL today? Are we? Arey bolo. No. No, never in future. Never in future. So that is how you will have to elevate your essay. PECIL analysis, if there are 6,000 people writing mains, take it in writing from me, 3,500 people will follow that technique. So don't rely on that technique. You have to rise above that. technique. Now the moment I say limitations, I gave an example of Vedic or my ancient history. Will it not glue the invigilator to your paper? This guy is writing, but he is taking me back to the Vedic times. Are yes or no? Anything else you can write here other than this dimension? I love this silence. काश घर में ऐसा कुछ साइलेंस मिल जाए तो मेडिटेशन हो जाए थोड़ी देर के, है ना? Anything else instead of this? Imagine the essay is about that. Imagination. About science. कोई dimension? Any dimension?
So the electricity and wireless networking, this is all imagination of.
Correct. Good. But try to think of something else which has got universal what you call positivity. कुछ और नेगेटिविटी इस पेज पे छोड़ देते हैं, इस पेज पे अ मॉरल मैसेज, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू गिव.
Sir, democracy is an imagination apart from that monarchy.
Yes, French Revolution. You can always give the example of French Revolution, but something better, something better. Think. Example.
Evolution of man.
Okay. In what sense? One perspective of evolution you tell. One perspective of evolution of man. Very good point. Historical perspective. No, she is talking about evolution of man. She has gone back Stone Age, Bronze Age, Copper Age, you know. Before that maybe, probably. Yeah.
Agriculture gives security to man so that he can use that.
She is very closely there. Very good dimension she has touched upon. One dimension he says that the discovery of fire, but it is difficult to say that somebody would have imagined fire. It is difficult to say. Maybe something would have happened in front of somebody where two rocks, for some natural geographical reasons, they would have been, rubbing against each other. Something would have been born. Something would have happened. It is the fire, invention of fire, whether it is a coincidence or a deliberate effort, it is still under debate. Okay, so we cannot give this dimension an imagination dimension for sure, and it will become difficult to support this after a couple of sentences. So something where the application of beyond the present knowledge. This solar system, are you talking about? Yeah, transportation. One dimension he has given here, but any another dimension from the emotional perspective. Can we talk about the structure of a family? Can you talk about the structure of your family? How the family structures should be decided? How will you connect it with imagination and knowledge? Somebody imagined, say, let me give you an example. See, what would have happened to this society if man and woman were in competition with each other? What would have happened? Because of the sheer physical strength, you would have killed all the women, and gradually you would have also died. So somebody imagined the impending threat of keeping these two idiots as enemies. So the institution of marriage was designed or imagined to hold on to these two entities. Are yes or no? Yes or no? Can you open that discussion here? Yes or no? अरे सैनी पूजा हंस रहा है बेटा, हाँ बोला सर कहाँ से ले जा रहे हैं, हमको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है. हाँ तो मेट्रो में आइए, मेट्रो का एग्जाम्पल देना था नहीं. I never imagined everybody stuck in the traffic and I am going in metro. अरे लिख give it a beautiful explanation and write. Who is stopping you? You can write this example in the first page also very beautifully. See, one mistake don't do. There is a difference between story writing and essay writing. Nagarjuna, there is a difference between story writing and essay writing. Do not commit the mistake of story writing in essay writing. You will be punished very badly. He will write only one remark, storytelling in essay, लिख के छोड़ देगा, and that will go to the what you call the moderator to decide कि दान में 10 देना है कि 20 देना है, ठीक है. So don't do this mistake of writing story, write the essay. So the institution of marriage. So this is one dimension we have opened. Keep counting the dimensions. Okay. Now in the third page, yeah, any other dimension? Open the third dimension, second dimension. The first dimension is the institution of marriage. Believe you me, this is your introduction till here. Till here it is only your intro. Now you have opened one dimension here. Okay. If the dimension is, see, the art of essay writing in UPSC is 5 to 6 dimensions in depth, beautifully expressed in language. That is the art. Don't open up 11, 12 dimensions, one dimension per page. Don't do that because it is difficult to sum it up at the end. So 5 to 6 good dimensions, try to take it forward in 1.5 page or 2 page, try to discuss upon that. Okay. From the perspective for starting from self till humankind, you can do that. Yeah. What is the dimension again here? I wrote about my personal self in the institution of marriage, where I started with humankind here. If you have understood, the institution of marriage is as an example of preserving the humankind from self-destruction. Yes or no? So that is the perspective. So I have started from the bottommost, that is humankind, or the topmost, whatever you can call it. Now what should be my next? To change the mode or the tone of your essay. Somebody used a word, kinship. बोल दिया ना, एंथ्रोपोलॉजी से बाहर आ जाना पड़ेगा, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं रहना एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, है ना. हाँ. What relations? Can you give the example of the European Renaissance here? The story of Renaissance is known to you? European Renaissance. The story of European Renaissance is the church was controlling the entire game. In the modern, what you call in the medieval European history, church was controlling the entire game. The church did not want to lose the control. So what the church told everybody, the narrative that the church built up over centuries is that the ocean is ending at after a given point and it falls into a deep well from where you can never come back. That is the narrative that the church had built across centuries to control that grip. The fear the church had was, if these people go to far distances and learn about new ways of functioning, they will come back and start complaining. Yes or no? So somebody imagined that there has to be a world at a distant land. Yes or no? At a distant land. So when people went to that distant land, their imagination that the land exists. The land exists at far distance from here led to one of the biggest what you call time frames in the modern world history called Renaissance. Renaissance is nothing but people started questioning the authority. People, when they came back, they told the church, you told that the water falls into a deep well, nothing like that falls. In that distant land, see, this is the proof I have brought that people are living more peacefully. There is no concept of church controlling the king and the masses and the economy or the polity that the way you are doing it. And the church always used to prescribe that they have divine blessing when they are giving any this thing. There it is not like that, people are more practical. So that divinity concept was questioned for the first time. So the authority to question the order of the day came from a word called Renaissance, awakening. Renaissance का meaning है awakening. This awakening was the result of imagination that the land exists at such a far place, because this imagination was beyond their knowledge. Yes or no? This imagination was beyond their knowledge of this particular land. So here imagination is more important than the knowledge of the world that was far away from here. Can you write this in the first part? Or yes or no? Plain 3-4 lines you can sum it up, the entire story, right? Now that you have given a positive dimension, can any other dimension you open up, negative or positive? If you have to open up a negative, can you now talk about the urge to get more and more and more, finally leading it to an, yeah, the colonization phase and the or the imperialism phase? What is the difference here? कभी कभी मैं सोचता हूँ, is it the other way around or only what he said is that way? कौन बताएगा?
China is an imperialist country. India is a colonized country because they have influence over.
They, yeah, he's right. They try to question the social order and bring in change. Imperialism means they are primarily interested in your economy. To support their way of economy, to grab from your economy, they will try to change some political structures. But colonization is much more deeper, when they try to question the existing social order and try to bring a change that will only support the economy and the polity what they want to be in place. Okay? So the negative dimension of this, what you call the awareness or the knowledge of distant land, finally culminated in the form of imperialism and colonization, and the world witnessed this in the 18th, 19th and the 20th century. 300 years the world was under colonized power at various parts of the globe. Positive? Positive? Renaissance. And gradually this Renaissance gave birth to Reformation. This Renaissance gave birth to reforming the society also. In this process, that is when the king is separated from the church. चर्च को बोला तुम मंदिर में घंटी बजाओ, इससे ज़्यादा काम नहीं है तुम्हारा. You should not be controlling the, what you call the king in this dimension. Let him take political decisions. Let him decide whom to wage a war with and whom not to wage a war with. So these concepts, the division in the society के कौन क्या करेगा, is the result of your, the final result is your reformation. And after getting reformed, when people started thinking, people were allowed to think, this reformation finally gave birth to your, this is the sequence of your history of the modern Europe. Renaissance, Reformation and finally leading to industrialization, and you are living presently in the 4th or 5th industrial revolution period. So you are coming from a time when the church controlled the entire authority and you are ending up here, all in one page, all this information in one page. Now you understand the importance of language in essay. Now you understand the importance of a strong vocabulary base for essay. Now you understand the importance of the combined knowledge of all the subjects that you study, the depth of that here. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay? Yeah. Next, 4th page. 4th पेज. मैडम 11 पेज लिखना पड़ता है, बीच बीच में मेरा नाम लिख देना, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओबराय सर की जय. हाँ. Okay. She is basically talking about heliocentrism and geocentrism. Heliocentrism and geocentrism. Our Vedas always spoke about that the sun is the center of the our universe, and the other planets revolve around the sun. But how are you planning to connect it, the knowledge and the imagination dimension? वो बताओ. Imagination is more important than knowledge. That is the heading. Don't miss that part. Now, very good point, excellent point. It is from the science perspective. Science में astronomy is one dimension what she has touched upon, wherein she is trying to bring up a discussion that when at a time when the world believed that the earth is the center of the universe, somebody did, and you know what price Galileo had to pay for this? He had to pay a huge price for this. Modi was there that time also. Because people will not keep quiet, no? If you try to disturb the world order, what does the world believe? That the earth is in the center and the rest of the planets are revolving around the earth. This was the system, and suddenly one day one guy gets up, brushes his teeth and says no, earth is not in the center, sun is in the center. So where he will be finding his center? His own geographical center will miss, no? It actually happened. Believe you me, go back to history, read the book. You will understand what price Galileo paid to tell the world that it is not the earth, it is the sun which is in the center of this our universe. And this guy did not stop there. He said there are many more universes. Then people said pagal ho gaya. ठीक है? Because he imagined, but this imagination was based on his knowledge of this subject. Probably he could not explain them the reasons. Probably. We do not know whether he was able to or not. Whether they gave him the opportunity or also not, we don't. But probably he could not explain, but understand, based on his knowledge he imagined. So that is how here the knowledge is the base of his imagination, because his imagination is rising above the existing knowledge. Rising above the existing knowledge. So that is where in the first part you try to write about this guy. You wrote about this story in 5 to 6 lines, not more. Is the result of, see, you want me to dictate? No, no. Right, thank you very much. You can write, no? Yesu, close your eyes, it will come. Okay? Now, when you have written this in the first part, what could be the best possible south part, the north part and the south part? Let me see your imagination. The authenticity or the correctness of the information के base के ऊपर all other explorations are based on this. Okay, one dimension, very good dimension he has opened. The positive dimension is opened based on this knowledge today. Yeah. Any other dimension?
Plastic surgery and all cannot, because it is magic.
No, something linked. You have to keep him attached, no, in some dimension. I told you 1.5 page, keep that dimension and try to revolve around that dimension. Your entire astrological knowledge changed, no? कविता मैडम सही है ना? जो ओम नमः शिवाय करते चेंज हो गया ना सडनली? Yes or no? The entire astrological knowledge, all old books, देखो ये सब गलत था. Yes or no? The entire astrological awareness took a complete U-turn. The astronomical knowledge advanced. Yes or no? What he said? Any other dimension closer to these? In what sense?
Telescope.
Colonization of space.
Open up this dimension. The urge to know more, which is continuing even today. Take them to ठीक है. अरे लिख रहे हो, समझ में आ रहा है? अवन्या सर क्या स्टोरी बोलते हैं यार, बाय गॉड. हाँ, आपसे अच्छा स्टोरी टेलर कोई नहीं हो सकता सर. नहीं बोला यू आर अ बैड स्टोरी टेलर. चलो, any other dimension? One more dimension, I got an idea. हाँ, आशा. I said no urge to know. See, एक essay when you write, avoid GS vocabulary. I am trying to tell you something very big. Avoid GS vocabulary in essay. ऐसे ऐसे लिखना है कि कॉमन मैन लिख रहा है, इंफॉर्मेशन देना है. India launched a Mars mission on so and so date. Modi was also sitting in the spacecraft and he also went to Mars and came back. ये नहीं लिखना. What you have to write? The language which is not generally your GS language. You have to write that in your essay. Any other dimension closer to this? Astrology, palmistry and all those astrological. अरे लेफ्टिस्ट पीछे वाले बोलो. I did not connect what she said.
Invention of compass.
Invasion of
Invention of compass.
invention of compass. एक ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर आ गए आप लोग, कॉन्सेप्ट की बात करो. हाँ, अर्ज टू नो मोर में. हाँ, see, urge to know more, discoveries, that dimension we have covered. I am wanting you to change the dimension. Any other dimension? Inventions, innovations, all happened. Mars happened, Chandrayaan happened, everything happened.
Exploitation of space resources.
Huh?
Exploitation of space resources.
In the negative dimension, see, we have still not been able to exploit any what you call extraterrestrial or non,
Settlement on Mars.
settlement on Mars. तेरा है plot? है?
To change our future.
Aparna, you will find there also. हाँ.
To change our future.
What sense? Can you dwell upon that?
We get various possibilities in various fields.
Innovation से बाहर आ जाओ.
Can be written in a negative perspective like fortune tellers and all.
Astrology.
Yeah, so the people start.
You write whether you want to write positive or, see, do not cut away astrology. It is always मध्यम मार्ग in UPSC, बीच का रास्ता. अगर वो अंगूठिया पहन के बैठा है और अगर तुम बोल रहे हो तू साला इडियट है तो नंबर नहीं देगा. हाँ,
Satellite based communications.
इनोवेशन से बाहर आओ. Other dimension of your life which changed because of this dimension.
Communication from one part to another part.
Innovation related, बाहर करो.
We can know upcoming dangers.
Somebody was there, ISS, International Space Station. What can you dwell upon that? What is the intention you will write? International Space Station is a urge to know more topic. कुछ और उसके आगे आप लिखना चाह रहे हो? International Space Station is aimed to know more about the cosmic sound and all, right? that cosmic sound which somebody said it is Om. Huh? How it has affected your life?
So like, can we write this is if any asteroid is coming to Earth, we can be aware of it.
Natural? But I was looking for something else. He said asteroids hitting the earth. I am waiting for it here. Nobody is really coming here. Huh? Astrological, how it affected your life? Somebody used once. When we realize the importance of we are all his. If he does not come one day, if he takes holiday like you, Sunday, Saturday, Friday also many times, what will happen? If he takes holiday for a week, if he takes holiday for a month or 2-3 months, you know what will be the temperature of the earth? If he takes holiday for 3 months, long leave, well, I am not keeping well, I don't wish to come. -300 the temperature of the earth will go, where only certain microbial organisms can survive, nothing else. Okay? So try to open up the dimension of understanding of the importance of sun in the second dimension. In the second dimension, what angle you will give? The health angle. Health angle, right? Today vitamin D deficiency हो बोलता है सुबह 6 बजे उठ के आधा घंटा बाहर बैठ ले, कोई गोली की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. That's what they say, no, the doctors. Say, get up at 6 o'clock. Sir, I sleep at 5 o'clock. What are you talking about getting up at 6 o'clock? है ना? So the importance of aligning your own self with the astronomical bodies, that is where the knowledge of your science comes from. Can you give here, link here yoga somewhere? अरे सूर्य नमस्कार कर रहे हो ना, अरे मतलब सुने हो ना, कर नहीं रहे हो, ठीक है, इंक्लूडिंग मी, तो इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम देयर ओनली, नो? कैन यू लिंक? तुम लोग थक गए यार. I took a class in the morning, went to office throughout the day, again I have come here, and you are tired. Double your age I am. बोलो. And probably more than double for some. क्या खोलोगे? 5th पेज. सुषमा बोल रहा हूँ. सुषमा कहाँ है रे? फंस गई. इमेजिनेशन नॉलेज कैसा लिख कर रहे हो? यू आर गोइंग अवे फ्रॉम द कोर कॉन्सेप्ट, मे बी अ लिटिल अवे फ्रॉम द कोर. कम टू कोर कॉन्सेप्ट. एक सोशल डायमेंशन लेके आओ. सोशल डायमेंशन लेके आओ. नो इन्वेंशंस. सोशल डायमेंशन लेके आओ. डोंट टेक हिम टू मेनी सिमिलर साइंटिफिक, ही विल गेट बोर्ड. ब्रिंग इन अ सोशल डायमेंशन. सोशल डायमेंशन विच वॉज नेवर इमेजिन्ड कि ऐसे हो सकता है. अरे सो मेनी LGBT कम्युनिटी. अरे विद मी. दिस इज वन. व्हाट एल्स? उधर से बाहर आओ. The repetition of an idea is an indication of the dearth of ideas. Do you want that message to be sent? No, there are so many ideas. Imagination of what India is today. Okay, fine, perfectly all right. Anything else? See, give an example which others won't think of. You have to develop that interest in him to read. ये क्या लिख रहा है? सोशल डायमेंशन में बिगर पर्सपेक्टिव, रिलीजन से बाहर आओ। हाँ,
various philosophies,
एग्जाम्पल दो। बट
stoic,
कैन यू राइट अबाउट world order led by women, gynocentric world? Who is your president? वो रजिया सुल्ताना बनी थी ना प्रेसिडेंट, सॉरी दी that guy had 50 sons, 50, and the first one was the most efficient. He died in a battle. All 49 useless. He gave training to her and declared her to be the Razia Sultana. Did anybody imagine? No. How he fulfilled his acceptance of his imagination by giving her knowledge. और लोग डेमोक्रेसी का पार्ट आपको और मेरे को आज पढ़ा रहे हैं. If you go back to Vedic culture also, the women had an excellent position in society, right? It is only the history में बीच में dilution आया है. So can you not bring in that dimension here? Or yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. You talk about your even the gods and goddesses. You give that what you call position to her. You worship her as Shakti, right? Power. So this is the result of imagination of the people, which is based on some knowledge. Yes or no? All divine revelations, they are all what? Imaginations of people. Yes or no? The divine revelation, is there any communication channel? Is there any communication channel? It is the ability to imagine things at that particular level. See, for you, if I say, why are humans born? Why do you what do you call have taken birth? Sir, to become IAS officer. Is it true? No. To become a good son. Is it true? No. Then what? Why are you born? Why are you born? Philosophy. Why are you born? To continue to to attend, sir, your class, to come out of the cycle of birth and death. That is the purpose of life. That is why it is said, no, 4 दिन की चांदनी है, फिर घोर अंधेरी रात है. The life that you have, whatever number of years is the life expectancy, in the cycle of time, it is 4 days, equal to 4 days. Then घोर अंधेरी रात है. It means your soul or whatever you call it has to travel in a timeless bound for I don't know how many years or light years I can express. So that is why it is said that as human life is very short. 4 दिन की जिंदगी है यार, क्यों इतना पैसा कर रहा है? You getting my point? So that is where you are imagining things which are beyond your control. After life, has anybody gone and come back? नहीं है ना? Has it? But it is a result of imagination. Even Christianity talks about heaven. Yes or no? You are also most of the religion, जन्नत की हम बात करते हैं. Yes or no? Swargam. The Apsaras are there. Imagination. Who knows who is there? You be a good person, you will get Apsaras there. What if you don't get? You left one here. So you are a victim of imagination. So the imagination of a life after life is also an imagination, and the controlling in the society is being imbibed by showing that imagination, that if you behave well while you are here, you will have a good time there, which is unending. There is no passport or visa stamp. No, after 3 months, sir, please, your time is over with Apsara. Please go back. Nobody is saying that probably, I don't know, probably. Okay? So these are all imaginations, based on imaginations, how the world order was controlled. Bring in the social dimension of society here. See, I am trying to tell you again, yesterday I told, essay is not the test of your knowledge, it is the test of your deep understanding of various dimensions of your own personal life. So if you open up these dimensions, will any other idiot write who is not attending this class? Probably not. Probably not, unless and until somebody is telling him, do this in the essay. Believe you me, you will get excellent marks. Believe me, and go and write like this and see the, you will not believe yourself. बोला सर मैं 105 या 110 एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था, but provided you write it well, provided you write it in the right vocabulary, right perspective, pick up the dimensions correctly and try to give a particular point which is effective, he will fall in love with you, believe you, it will happen. ठीक है? Now इसका other dimension क्या दूं? What shall I give? Not always positive, negative, need not be, it can be complementary. It can be a complementary dimension also. What else you can give, even if it is positive, negative? Think. In this, you are here talking about the imagination, knowledge and the social order. Everywhere social order, no? You are what you are doing? You are hitting the already existing topic. Did you ever imagine that you will give protection to the minorities of the adjoining countries in your country? That you will try to protect them, try to give them shelter? Your CAA, no? Citizenship Amendment Act. It is also imagination that the extent of my family is not only India, it is beyond India. It is beyond India. If he is a Hindu or a what you call a Parsi or anybody or a Sikh or somebody, if he is a victim, if he will not come to India, where will he go? Where is the home for them? Nowhere. If he is a particular belonging to a particular community, and see, the CAA is not saying that I will not accept Muslims. There are other provisions for that. The government is very clear, there is no confusion, no doubt. There are other provisions which are allowing the Muslims to take citizenship of India, and in the last 4-5 years around 600-700 people have been given. Classic example is your Adnan Sami, no? Or yes or no? It is a classic example. But why people are making ho halla? Because people do not read what the law is saying. और सुप्रीम कोर्ट को भी बिजी करके रखा है 2 साल से, and they have not listed the case for the last 2 years because they understand there is no locus standi in that case. ठीक है? Now come back, the imagination of India going beyond, imagination of India going beyond the established geographical boundaries. Yes or no? Then connect here. What is stopping you? Yes or no? चलो next पेज नंबर, आज हो जाएगा? हाँ, दिन भर में फोन देखता तो कोई तो कॉल करेगा यार, nobody calls. हाँ Yes. Okay. How will you want to open up this? But thoda generally I am not very comfortable against Indira Gandhi, but I will take it. Yeah. Huh. I hate it. I hate her and love her both. Yeah.
Economy point of view, like barter system, coinage, and then now digital.
Excellent point. She is talking the economic perspective from that, the barter system finally giving way to the invention of currency. Excellent point. What it manifested positively into? Excellent. Has anybody seen that movie, English movie, In Time? An old movie, There is no concept of money in this society. I'll take 5 minutes to explain. Beautiful movie. There is no concept of money in this society. There is no money. People who are born will surely live for 25 years. So the guarantee talk time is, or lifetime is 25 years. So at the age of 25, the mother, the daughter and the grandmother, they all will be, the age will stop at 25. It will not go beyond 25. So the daughter is also 25, the mother is also 25, the grandmother is also 25. Now the concept is, if we have to live a second also more, you need time, and you will get time by working. The only way to get time is by working or stealing somebody's time. And the way to get time, transfer of time, is by holding a hand which already has time. If you have seen that movie, very beautifully they show, if you work for 8 hours, maybe you will get 2 weeks time. So you put your hand in the machine or somebody's hand, that 2 hours, 2 weeks will be transferred from his hand to your hand. The best part is, if you don't work, you will die. There is one scene in the movie, the hero has, I don't remember exactly how many years of times with him, but he misses to touch hold his mother's hand by a fraction of a second, and she just collapses. So that is how the title of the movie is, In Time. So that way, if you can imagine things like that, can you not take things much more forward there? There is no problem of health in the society. Nothing. If you are born means you have to bloody live 25 years. Because you cannot die. Even if you kill, I will not die. That's the logic. If I have to kill you, I have to take your time, you will automatically die. That's the logic. Okay? And if the time is over, whatever, wherever you are doing, you will just fall flat. Just see the beauty, imagination. People don't have to suffer with health. People don't have to suffer with relations. You feel it's enough here, I had enough, I will not work. Bye. Tomorrow morning 6 o'clock, tata. Okay? So try to understand how imagination is working. Don't take triple R's imagination, please, for God's sake. Okay? He is putting the deer and the tiger in the same cage and asking people to imagine that they were friends. Okay?
Idea of movies and all.
क्या बेटा?
Idea of movies and all.
Sir, can you mention the imagination of
वेग, थोड़ा वेग हो जाएगा. और the idea of,
Like an entertainment purpose.
fine arts,
हाँ,
painting?
and how do you connect? You have to understand one thing, here the knowledge, here the result of imagination. All agree? Here the knowledge was restricted to barter system, the imagination end result is digital currency. If I have to talk negative any dimension to this, you can talk about the cyber attacks or whatever, you can talk about the dark net, you can talk about so many other dimensions here. Okay? Anything else?
Sir, can we write about sports, sir?
Sports.
It is
example though, I am not denying.
In the country which led to Olympics and all, it was like employment opportunities and also entertainment.
Largely, but effectiveness will miss.
सर अगर
हाँ.
चिल्ड्रन को हम अर्ली एज में अच्छा नॉलेज दें तो उनका इमेजिनेशन से वो लोग फ्यूचर में कुछ बेटर कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, imagination is a result of exposure also, knowledge also, exposure also, the freedom to think, very important. If you do not have the freedom to think, you cannot imagine anything. In the forces, if your senior asks you to do something, if you say, sir, I thought, then the first word starts with F and the second one is stop thinking. Okay? So it means you are not allowed to think. So your imagination is killed because you have to just follow a specific order, because in your place somebody who is more experienced has imagined. You are only used as a particular person who will execute that imagination. If you start thinking, maybe his imagination and your imagination will not match. Disastrous result. Getting it? Yeah.
Sir, agreements with Saudi Arabia, US, so led to world domination by US. Agreements like $, only we need to purchase with $.
लिंक करो, इमेजिनेशन और नॉलेज से लिंक करो. कैसा करोगे? मुश्किल है, मुश्किल है.
Or it is important as it's
It is not imagination, it is bad eye. Or obviously. Okay. So she is talking here about the evolution of communication, which was from, see, in the if you have seen the World War series, First World War, Second World War, the messages were passed across by dispatchers. On motorcycle, he will go, he will carry a what you call piece of paper in which message is written, he will go and deliver that message to the other person. So this is the stage when the communication was channelized between two entities physically, probably now we are digitally communicating, probably times will come what I think he can perfectly what you call get to know what I am thinking. Today it is an element of imagination, maybe in future it will be a reality. Yes or no? Or yes or no? In future it can be a reality. You never thought that you can see a person while talking who is thousands and thousands of miles away from you, but today it is possible. So it is going into imagination which is beyond the existing knowledge. Had it been not in imagination, would it have been possible? Yes or no? When for the first time mobiles were introduced in our country in the late 90s or mid 90s, the size of the phone was this much. This was the size of the phone and this much big, and there was some radius only. From that location, within that radius only it will work. Today they are not allowing, otherwise it will work in the aircraft also. Yes or no? So that is where the power of imagination, it will take you beyond your knowledge levels. So this communication, you can say, what word I can use? Communication, like increased or improved communication. Can I say the lightning speed with which communication developed has changed the world we live in. Yes or no? If your Google integration is there, my family members will come to know whether I am sitting in Chandni Bar or Mega City Bar. They will come to know if I have given them that access. Yes or no? So all those dimensions you can open up here, but do not cluster up with dimensions. One dimensions, keep it closer and move ahead. One more dimension. I want you to give dimension from the perspective of 7th page, right? I have given you a hint. Religion perspective से एक dimension दो. We'll try to keep it to God. Religion है ना? Religion centers around God and nature.
The idea of God is only a imagination.
He is negating the existence of God.
Inculcation of values in human society.
Anthropology subject है क्या तेरा?
Inculcation of values in human society through religion.
Imagination, dimension.
The imagination of Buddha have gave rise to heterodox religion.
The
The imagination of Buddha gave rise to a new heterodox belief system called religion.
imagination of Buddha,
What a-
but it was not, we cannot say imagination, we can say enlightenment of, we cannot say he imagined. If you start saying he imagined, then lot of cults will get negated. We cannot directly say imagine because it is enlightenment. We do not say no Buddha got imagination on that day, it is enlightenment, right? Religion may imagination knowledge, imagination knowledge, religion, imagination knowledge of religion. Difficult dimension.
Performance of dance, evolution of dance. So, dance forms have got evolved because of performance.
When I'll give you an example. अब और तुम एग्जाम्पल दो. आई होप यू आर अवेयर ऑफ दिस सिस्टम. अरे मूवीज तो सभी देखते हो ना. द देवदासी सिस्टम विच इज दैट लेटेस्ट मूवी है, क्या था वो? हाँ SSR, श्याम सिंघा रॉय. हाँ नहीं देखा? नॉट वर्थ इट ऑल्सो. What else? I have given one example. Yeah.
The imagination of life after death.
The imagination of life after death has given rise to the importance of virtuous life or righteous life, what you call it. Okay, that we have discussed in some of the dimensions in the past, no? But otherwise a good point from religion perspective.
To worship, it is a type of imagination.
Can we say now in this, with our imagination levels and the knowledge, we are not now bounded by the dimension that he is the I am basically trying to talk about the social structures here. Today, can you tell he belongs to SC/ST, he cannot enter the temple? Can you tell today? So can I say the equality of man in front of God changed with the knowledge, evolution of knowledge of God? What he spoke about was agnosticism. See, what agnosticism says is, you cannot say God exists. At the same time, you cannot prove that God does not exist. It is called agnosticism. And then one more word called pantheism. It says the universe is the creation of God. The universe is the creation of God. This was the belief system, no? This was the earlier belief system, blind belief system, that God has created the world, pantheism. So now we are what you call in the process of evolution, because in the absence of probably the contemporary scientific revelation to confirm the existence or absence of God, is leading to an ism called agnosticism. Yes or no? अरे यस और नो? अरे ऐसा क्यों देख रहे हो यार? मेरा नाम, shall I introduce myself? Is it too heavy today? A little too heavy, है ना? To me also यार. The topic is such.
रिलीजन में रामकृष्ण उनका
एग्जाम्पल दो, नाम मत दो. Can we?
करते थे तो कालिका माता उनके ड्रीम्स में आके बोल
I don't know the story, so I cannot build up.
Sir, Balgandhar Tilak excuses Ganesh festivals and
Imagination, knowledge. Imagination, knowledge. That is why I am telling. Always keep reminding these words. Imagination and knowledge. Religion. One beautiful dimension comes up. See, what Karl Marx said. Religion is the opium of masses. This guy said, religion is the opium of masses. इनको religion की गोली पिला दो, हजारों साल तक सोते रहेंगे साले. The moment you have to snub somebody or ignite somebody, give him a tablet called religion. Either he will rise to kill somebody or he'll go back to dormancy, irrespective of whatever the government is doing. Yes or no? So that is where he is trying to bring in a dimension of religion where he is trying to say this is a creation of man with an intention or a superior man with an intention to control the inferior man. Here superior man is a man who is in power and inferior man is a slave or the person who is being ruled by that what you call superior man. So he is using religion as a metaphor for opium of masses. This understanding is based on knowledge. And what is this knowledge? What is this knowledge? The knowledge of the political system, of the political system of that time, wherein he is trying to tell people out of his imagination which is based upon knowledge that तुमको मजहब के नाम पे people are using you. So they are giving you the tablet called opium of religion and making you do these things, and you are blindly doing these things. ठीक है? One more dimension, religion, imagination and knowledge. आज तो एक्सरसाइज है इमेजिनेशन का. पॉजिटिव, नेगेटिव, whatsoever. Buddhism, positive example he tried to give. The message of peace, salvation, the what you call detachment, not attaching yourself with anything, the concept of expectations, not expecting anything from anybody. This word, no expectation. The moment you expect, you are subjecting yourself to stress. The cause of all the worries in the world is expectation. That's what this guy told hundreds of years before. The expectation that you will pass UPSC exam is cause of all the worries. Yes or no? True, right? Yeah. Any other dimension in religion? One dimension where it is checking the technological advancement. The religion is trying to downplay the technological advancement. Imagination and knowledge को बीच में रख के try to think. Technological advancement, what religion is trying to stop you from doing. But no religion as such said के intercaste marriage or तेलंगाना वाले तो 2.5 लाख रुपए भी देते हैं यार. Find someone, at least for the sake of 2.5 lakh rupees. I hope you are aware, intercaste marriage के लिए KCR gives 2.5 lakh rupees. He promises to give. Whether he is giving it or not, I don't know. हाँ. religious
Radicalization. Waste of his
technology.
Sir, something that religion is worshipping the God, something that doing good is worshipping the God. This creates communal
Believers and non-believers की बात, but technology कहाँ है?
sir, like their belief system comes in between.
Ideology.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So but technology कहाँ है?
That is imagination of human.
Obviously, it is more than imagination. It is wrongful interpretation or wishful interpretation. But does any religion talks against about this? No, right? Does it?
Yes, we should not kill a child.
I'm not very sure, but as far as my understanding goes, I am sure if it is at the cost of the mother's health, the old one is important.
They say that.
But is it there anywhere written?
They say that church.
You please check it. I am not very sure that some religion is. See, that's why I say, do not just bring and put a template of Western belief system of liberty or rights. In US it is prohibited, no? Very अभी बहुत केस चला भैया लास्ट couple of months चल ही रहा है केस. It will take time. Yeah. Technology religion clash. Come on. Technology religion clash. Conversion technology. Technological conversion मत बोले. हाँ हाँ, he is coming there. He was there but he missed it. Ideological polarization or radicalization using the platform of imagination knowledge. Your wrongful imagination or wrongful knowledge, you are using the platform of imagination to further that particular cause. See, I am giving you multiple, you can pick up any one. This is fair enough, this is fair enough, this is fair enough. You can write two 1.5 pages like that. ठीक है? Yeah, what else? क्या बेटा?
What's the knowledge?
The knowledge is corrupted here. And there is a lack of imagination and the imagination to use that platform. Facebook जब बनाया था, it was not meant to be used by terrorists, no? But that idiot used it because he imagined that it can be used. Yes or no? It was his imagination. He used the imagination for his cause, which is coming from improper knowledge. So you have to connect it that ways. You have to connect it that ways. ठीक है? Either imagination can be wrong, either knowledge can be wrong, either imagination can be big, either knowledge can be big. Any dimension you can pick up and frame your sentences accordingly. Can I make a statement here? The what you call the ideological few who were wanting to propagate their wishful thinking against another ideological people belonging to other ideological thing used these tools of imagination for improper purposes and spread polarization and radicalization in the society. Yes or no? So you gave a negative dimension of imagination based on wrongful knowledge or improper or incorrect knowledge or misinterpreted knowledge, anything you can write. ठीक है? Yeah, we'll close the dimensions, more dimensions. I want you to think of it. Now come to conclusion, how you would conclude this essay. Promise yourself you will write at least one essay per month. I am telling you fair enough, but put in, do not take 8 hours, 9 hours to write an essay. First essay you can take, I will give you that time. I took 9 hours to write first essay. 9 hours और उसके बाद भी FOL. ठीक है? So you will also probably take time. to write that kind of an essay, but it will improve, the quality will improve. Yeah, conclusion में क्या लिखोगे? What will you write in the conclusion part of this essay? हाँ,
Our imagination can lead a false knowledge.
so she is saying the imagination is false or the knowledge is false? False knowledge. So you want to say that false knowledge can be catastrophic if it gets the wings of imagination. यही बोलना चाह रहे हो? Yes or no? What you want to say? Okay. What else?
Knowledge is limited, imagination has no limits.
Okay. It says the knowledge may be limited, but the imagination, which is though based on knowledge, is unlimited. See, nobody thought of bullet trains, no? Nobody thought of iska. I was thinking somebody will tell this example of the invention of aircraft. I thought somebody will tell, but nobody told. You can use that in the, what you call this thing, and at the same time, you know what is the longest distance to travel from your head to your heart? The longest distance to travel, philosophy says, from your head to your heart. Believe me, you will take maybe lives to travel that distance. You have to compromise on any one dimension. So that is how the longest distance to travel is from your head to your heart. So you have to many a times make a choice, either head or heart. Which is the right? My vote goes for heart. My vote goes for heart. Maybe temporarily you will have to sacrifice or leave something, but in the longer run you will definitely feel good about it if you follow the heart. This has been my personal experience. I had this problem when, you know, I had in one hand this certificate to come and join the Eastern Michigan University in 2004. On the other hand, call from the Indian Armed Forces. The head said, देश का क्या है चलता रहेगा, go to EMU. But the heart said, लक्ष्य मूवी एक महीना पहले देख के आए, ऋतिक रोशन इतना अच्छा एक्टिंग किया, चलो चलते हैं. As a child I have seen border movie many times, so let's go to border only. So I followed my heart. So the friends who followed their head, they landed in EMU. I followed my heart, I landed in the forces. Okay? So there are many a times you have to travel this distance forcefully. So that dimension you can bring in your conclusion. And the decision whether to follow the heart or the head depends on your ability to imagine the long distance that you are imagining. What you are wanting from your life is what comes here. My dad said, you will make money here, but you will live a life here. That was true. You will make money here, you will have plenty of money, but you will miss your life. You will may not have that much of money, but you will have full life to live. So that's when I took the call of my heart and chose to go to the forces. Okay? 2012 got UPSC, call letter in hand. Shall I go or not? Again the longest distance to travel. I again chose heart, which said no, because I felt I have already adorned the army uniform, I do not want to adorn any other uniform. I felt it is a disrespect to the army. Then I said no. all my peers, they said there is no bigger idiot than you. I said accepted. Maybe you prove yourself right, but still no regrets. Okay? So it depends what call you take, what you can, how far you can imagine what you will lead in your life in future. Okay? So at times you need to make choices. Yeah. What else? Leaving the armed forces was also a big challenge. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, again the head and heart. Here the heart became head. Think, which was heart 10 years before suddenly became head, and which was heart to me for all my life continued to remain my heart. I chose my mother. I had a call, inner conscience call, that even if you become the chief of the army staff, if you die with a regret that your mother needed you the most and you did not come back for her, you will die a regretful death. I just remembered my father, closed my eyes, he said, go with your heart. I left the forces, came back to take care of my mother. 6 years down the line, she is hale and healthy. It's an achievement. So even if I didn't become something, my juniors are commanding units now. They all shocked. My application was rejected thrice in the army. Billa, no way you are getting released. I had to literally beg for my release. Sir, please leave me. After leaving, got calls from the top-notch intelligence agencies of our country, come and join us. Said no. Next 5, 6 years, I'm going nowhere. Continued with her. So you have to take these calls. Everybody has a story, a personal life experience. Try to bring that here in your conclusion. Just imagine, had I written these 3 in my conclusion, what will I get? Excellent marks? Yes or no? So find your own tussle between your own head and heart and bring it here. Which decisions you have taken, depending on what was your imagination, what was your knowledge at that point of time, and then try to conclude. It hence proves that imagination, whether right or wrong, generally stands very strong over the knowledge of that particular subject. Yes or no? Are yes or no? Why so much of silence here? Kya ho gaya? Started breaking with head and heart in your own life experiences? Okay? Give me the concluding statement of this essay. Anyone? Concluding statement, कौन देगा? Madam?
Without proper knowledge, there is no.
Imagination is the source of all knowledge. May sow the seeds of future knowledge. Imagination has the power to sow the seeds of future yes or no? So in a way, imagination is superior to knowledge, right? yes or no? अगर एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन ने लिखा है तो ऑब्वियसली सही होगा. ऑब्वियसली कंबाइंड इंटेलेक्ट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ अस मोर इंटेलिजेंट देन. ठीक है? या एनीथिंग एनीबडी वांट्स टू आस्क? तुम लोगों ने मेरे को जीएस पढ़ाने नहीं दिया ना? या एनी क्वेश्चंस व्हाट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड टुडे? क्या हो गया बेटा? हेड एंड हार्ट? होप सो. Don't get emotional. At times you need to be practical. Yeah. Any questions? Why there is so much of what you call dullness in the class? क्या हो गया suddenly? Everybody started thinking head and heart. Don't quit UPSC here. Please, for heaven's sake, at least people, those who have not paid the complete fees, don't think of quitting UPSC, okay? Then I have to force to use my head. Take it? ठीक है. Ethics की classes will be good. It will transform you as a person over a period of time, 100, 120 hours. I'll force you to, you will be a changed person for sure. Whatever you are, you may still do wrong things, but that realization that I have done wrong will come. See, you need to be an intelligent person to do corrupt things. An idiot cannot do any corrupt thing, वो पकड़ा जाएगा. वो ब्रह्मानंदम है ना एक मूवी में, जो भी उठा लेता था immediately this guy used to catch him. So you need to be very intelligent to do wrong things. ठीक है? Yeah. चलो, thank you very much.